Party Dress Express is your one-stop shop for a dress for any occasion. Whether it's a prom, a graduation, a special night on the town, or your wedding. Party Dress Express has over 15,000 dresses in stock and prices to fit any budget. Party Dress Express is located at the Tower Mill, 657 Quarry Street in Fall River, Mass. Open 7 days a week. Call Party Dress Express at 508-677-1575. That's 508-677-1575. Do you want to feel radiant, beautiful, and confident? Do you want to feel 10 years younger? Come to Spa Number 5, the Face Fox, located at 580 Wood Street in Bristol, Rhode Island. From Botox fillers to laser fillers and top-of-the-line skincare, Spa Number 5 has all you need to feel beautiful again. Go to spa-5.com or visit us at 580 Wood Street in Bristol, Rhode Island. Take advantage of all our fall specials happening now. Spa Number 5, the Face Fox.
Are you ready for some football? Join the Troy City Titans on Saturday, October 12th at 7:30 p.m. at Mac Aldrich Field on the campus of Durfee High School for their final home game of the season against their arch rival, the Middleborough Cobras. You can also enter our raffle for a chance to win a 2012 Nissan Titan truck sponsored by 24autogroup.com. Raffle tickets are available for the rest of this month. The winning ticket will be drawn at this game. Raffle tickets are $25 and available by calling 774-955-7111. The Troy City Titans. Be there!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Week 3 NFL edition of the E2G Sports Podcast. Sunday, September 22nd of the year 2019. Buddy Andrade here, John Ahern here. And, man, do we have lots to talk about?
Yeah.
We're going to get right
on.
on.
And it's flowing in, so it's awesome.
But can I say this? I'm hearing rumblings that number 17 is going to be retired up in Foxborough. Any truth to that?
Yes, 4 years he has to wait to go into the Patriots Hall of Fame. We'll check with Brian Morey
and
on
you
that,
know,
but
based on some, and I'll get back to the fan base in a few minutes because we're going to talk about the Antonio Brown thing because I have some things to say about some of the fans and what they've been saying this week, which is astounding. Actually, the past 2 weeks. But let's start. The saga is, well, 2 weeks, about 2 weeks in New England, right? One game
it was
and we
11
hardly
whole
knew it.
days. Yep, $153,000 terribly spent.
Unbelievable. Do pontificate, please, because stuff is breaking right now as we speak.
Yeah, he's calling out Bob Kraft on Twitter now, pretty much saying his sins are less than Antonio Brown's. And to tell you the truth, Antonio Brown is right about that, taking a holier-than-thou approach the Kraft family is.
Right.
So he's kind of got a point there, but he's saying he's not going to play in the NFL, and I've been thinking about this 24 hours. I've talked to a few people. Don't be surprised if in the next short time he is signed by Vince McMahon, WWE, XFL.
Hot takes.
2 Fridays from now, I believe it is going to be their opening SmackDown on Fox. You're telling me it's not a Vince McMahon power move? Throw it on the table. Antonio Brown is there cutting up the NFL and promoting the XFL because you know what? It's the only paycheck he's going to get.
You're not kidding. At least this year, no question about it. And he would be ripe for what the WWE would have to offer because that's what they do. Polarizing, gravitating. Antonio Brown now is he has that factor where you want to see what this guy's doing next. You're going to follow him on Twitter. You're going to follow him on Instagram. Anywhere this guy is posting, anywhere this guy is, you want to tune in because it's the old Mike Tyson theory from the 80s and from the 90s. What's this guy going to do next?
You remember
Seriously.
when it was Hogan Macho Man. Yeah, I'll go my wrestling narc.
Oh, yeah.
It was going to be a Friday night on national TV.
Right.
And Tyson was supposed to be the guest referee, and he lost. And who was the guest referee when they got out there? They brought it. They had James Buster Douglas.
That's right.
He goes for the hot name. That's what he wants.
And unlike James Buster Douglas, Antonio Brown would have staying power with this guy, with this league. But do you see him? Do you foresee him playing in the XFL or just kind of promoting, doing this such, not playing at all?
He'll be the face of the league. He's saying he doesn't want to go back to the NFL. He's committing career suicide this morning.
So the XFL? What about the XFL?
No, he's going to play in the
He's gonna- I
XFL,
think he's gonna
but
play next time.
they're going to promo him on SmackDown and Raw and bring him out, and he's going to make his little comments, and he'll be involved in some type of angle, and they'll let Antonio be Antonio, but it's a check. It's probably going to be a good check.
But here's the thing, and you talk about checks, you talk about motivation. If he had just stayed off the text on Wednesday, he'd be playing today, and he'd get that $5 million check tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you think about it. You're talking about checks, paychecks, and this and that. What changed in between Wednesday and now to want him to earn a paycheck even more than he did? He had $5,000 just to suit up today against the Jets, catch a couple of touchdown passes, and maybe a 33-3 route, and you're costing yourself $5 million just by doing that.
Yeah, was it worth it to intimidate somebody?
But what's gonna change with this guy? Is he gonna change?
Nothing's going to change, but he's going to be promoted and pushed by the McMahon family.
But is money going to be the motivating factor?
Oh, that's what motivates this guy. We know that.
Okay, but $5 million didn't motivate him, so it's going to have to be a lot more than $5 million to motivate the guy, which Vince McMahon will acquiesce to.
Yes, he will.
Of
I mean,
course.
don't forget he brought LeVar Ball in when the ball BBB was going big. The big baller brand
That's what
was
it's
going big.
And you know what?
they always look for the hot moment.
Yeah.
And try to strike with iron's hot. I'm telling you,
But
I can see this happening.
devil's advocate in me.
Yep.
Part of me just thinks he's just losing it.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Gone. And at what point does this topple over? Do you see it stopping? I mean, are we now at a point where we're going to feel bad for this guy because he thinks something's wrong with him? Call it CTE, call it whatever you want to, but this guy needs some sort of intervention help somehow, you would think. Unless it's all premeditated, which, based on Wednesday, it's not premeditated to me.
No, that
This
was
guy
an honest mistake.
this-
You thought he was going to slip through, and
How do you do that?
you just don't outthink the situation.
And you have a school of people around you who are supposed to be your public relations staff,
Yep.
your attorney, who participated in the text.
Yeah,
by the
he's
way.
in the text exchange.
It's bizarre.
His provider,
Right.
and some other friends who I can only.
A
All
ri-
I know is this guy hijacked the New England Patriots for 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately, just took the franchise, and it was all about him. This may be Tom Brady's last year here.
Right.
Maybe his last year in the league.
So,
And 11 days worth of that was this guy.
so he's in the championship game come January with this Patriot team if he's a good boy,
Oh yeah.
but couldn't stay off it.
No,
couldn't stay off it.
He just could not leave things alone and just let the process play itself out. And he had to attack other people. He's the type of person that nobody probably really likes.
I would
Just
think.
he's got that I'm better than you attack. You know, sounds familiar though.
True, but
Deny, attack. Sounds familiar
Well,
from a local radio show about a certain owner.
what would that be? Anyway, if that's the case, up until yesterday, he was getting responses on his tweets from TB12, Edelman, emojis, love you, like heart emojis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, did he alienate his team? I
Well,
would imagine
was
some
it
players
really
in there.
Unfortunately, it was his team for 11 days.
Right.
That's the sad
Right,
part.
right.
That's the saddest part about all this.
And we may never know the real truth, but I would have loved to have been a fly in that locker room as all this is going on. Anyway, this is the E2G Sports Podcast. We're going to get into the NFL games in a moment, but we do have to focus on the Antonio Brown stuff because this is a 30-30 begging rags to riches to rag. Here's a positive. Speaking of rags to riches, if I may digress. He came from nothing, poor as he grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably the most talented receiver we've seen in a long time,
Yep.
right? One of.
Yeah, he's up there. He's on a list.
My whole thing is, don't forget where you came from. With some of the stuff, he's belittling people who aren't as wealthy as him. The whole talking about the woman's child, that stuff bothers me.
Oh, that
bothers me
irks
from
me.
a personal
Irks me.
standpoint, where he's just a bad dude. Sometimes, I try to live my life. Don't forget where you came from.
No, and don't forget the people
Because they made you
who got
who
you
are.
there.
Exactly. And that is the sad part about it. Idiot. D-bag. Oh, my God. Anyway, we're available on Hurricane Radio as well, and we're on YouTube streaming, right, buddy, as we speak?
Yeah. Is
right.
anybody watching?
So we are coming out to the world, to you.
Good.
Anyway, let's
And send your comments. You guys will see them, right?
Yes.
We got the great crew over here with James and Brian.
James and Brian doing it for you, because without those straws during our big drink here, we wouldn't be coming to you. So we appreciate that, guys. And it is early Sunday morning here in southeastern Massachusetts, so getting up on a Sunday is not always that easy.
No, not
and
always.
I worked late last night on my other job.
I stayed up for that Georgia Notre Dame game.
Oh, I hate Notre Dame as much as you hate
dude.
Michigan.
Yeah. I don't hate Michigan. I hate Ohio State.
You think you said
But
that?
I don't like Michigan either.
Is it because of Harbaugh?
It might partially be because, and I also think the Ohio State-Michigan thing is the most overrated thing in sport.
Could be. Cause
It's the Pee Wee game before the Auburn-Alabama game.
That's a good point.
It's a good time to get a nap in.
But you know what? I was watching some of the. When I get home last night, I watched some of that Notre Dame game, and they put up a nice little fight there.
Yeah, they did. That tight end, I'm definitely doing a lot of research on him because he looked really good down the seam, some of the shorter passes.
Yeah. And
they get some size.
They do.
Definitely for Ian
And
Book.
Patterson was hanging in there while he was on the run a lot.
Yeah.
For the Irish. But anyway, I'm not a big Notre Dame fan, and I'm half Irish. Go figure.
Yeah.
Anyway, a couple more things. We got to talk about the first of all, must-see TV. Whenever the Philadelphia Eagles play the Atlanta Falcons,
yeah,
it's a good game.
It's like an NBA game. Just turn it on in the last 2 minutes, and you'll see what happens.
Right, but it's entertaining. I like the rivalry, if you want to call it such a rivalry. It's not Ohio State, Michigan, by the way, but it's a rivalry.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, well, you ready to? You want to start the?
Start the slate?
Yeah, you want to start
Week
the
3?
slate? You want to recap the Thursday night feature?
Yeah, Gardner Minshew. I love the memes.
You know
The
what?
guy's a legend already.
Can he? Granted, it's week 3, and your 0-2 teams now are facing big obstacles if they lose today. You start the season 0-2, your chances of making the playoffs are very slim, right? We can agree. Jacksonville staved off that execution Thursday night. They looked pretty good.
They stayed in it in that division. I think both Souths in the league are going to be wide open until the end.
Agreed.
I don't think there's anybody clear-cut in either one, especially with Breeze down now and Newton not playing today.
The whole landscape is changing.
Yeah, and I think Newton's a lot worse than people think it is.
I think you're right.
And I don't understand why it's not Will Greer. I'm sure we'll get to that game.
Right.
But you draft a guy 100 overall who comes in with a pretty good pedigree out of West Virginia, and you don't play him for whoever this is? Are you tanking now too?
You would hope not.
Because I've heard enough about the tanking stuff. And if you're tanking for Tua, not really a good idea.
No, I agree with you.
No.
I agree. There's some couple good quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts is one of them. Anyway, we'll pontificate more. Yeah, but it's week 3 upcoming. Already started actually Thursday, and we're already looking at backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And a third-string quarterback in relation to Foxborough today.
Yeah.
So we will start off. So anyway, but I can't take away anything from Thursday night's game with the weather conditions because it's one of those Thursday nights you don't know preparation-wise, you don't know game plan-wise. But I will say this: if Minshew can kind of stay the course, don't count this Jacksonville team out yet because
No, he's super accurate.
I know, really, I know. And Foles has the broken clavicle, so he'll be back eventually. But you didn't know what he was going to do in this system anyway, and we didn't have enough of a sample size to know what could be done. We've seen what he's done in Philly. Better than marginal quarterback. He's obviously got a Super Bowl championship, but with a new team, you don't know what he can do.
Yeah. And even though it's the same system with DiFilippo down in Jacksonville, but it looks totally different just with the way they're attacking with DJ Chark. Good fantasy pickup, by the way, DJ Chark.
Yeah, I picked him up. He's on my fantasy.
Good pickup. He looks like he's going to be the number 1 receiver
He's
there.
one of my fantasy boys. Anyway, so don't count that Jacksonville team out. Now, would it be addition by subtraction if they were to part ways with Jalen Ramsey? Rumors are now that they're not shopping him around.
Shad Khan, the owner, wants to pay him, which they went over Tom Coughlin's head. This is Coughlin against Ramsey. Ramsey isn't a Coughlin-type player. We know that.
Right.
We know what he looks for in a player, both on and off the field.
And
And those two personalities do not mix. That's oil and water right there.
And we know how a certain player's personality can bring a team down. I mean, could it be the case of this team? I mean, after week 3,
Well, they stepped up this week, though.
they did step up.
9 sacks. They went back to Saxonville. Calais Campbell was unblockable
Yeah,
the other
boy,
night.
when they're
oh,
on,
my God.
they're fun to watch. They're big. They're physical.
Yeah,
They really are.
They're an interesting team to watch.
Yeah, they are. And I'm not counting that team out yet.
No, you
No.
can't count that division. I'm not.
Yep.
You can be 2-5. I'm not counting you out.
Nope.
Nope.
9-7, 8-8 could win a division like that.
Yeah, host the playoff game.
Yeah. Anyway, Let's start off. Let's start off with our first game of the day today. Buffalo, 2-0 Buffalo.
2-0 Buffalo.
Right. Entertaining the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 0-2. So Buffalo's 2-0 for the 6th time since 2000. But they've not made the playoffs in the last 5 times they've started 0-2. 2-0, I mean.
Yeah.
So,
they're going to 3-0 today.
I agree with you today.
Devin Singletary, I believe, is out. We'll see what happens there. Hamstring. Next week is Pats Buffalo. Probably going to both be 3-0 up there.
You think the Jets don't have a chance today?
Um,
So you're saying there's not a chance?
I'm just telling you, I don't.
I'm
not
totally kidding.
Luke Falk's biggest supporter. So if you're looking for the Luke Falk fan club, it may be down there to the
But he's
left
buried his
somewhere.
face in the playbook, so maybe he knows the playbook better than when Sam Darnold. Rumor has it.
But no, Buffalo, home. There'll be a tribute to Ezra, their super fan who died. God bless him. He was an amazing person. And so today's going to be a tribute to him. It's going to be Pancho Villa Day. Up in Orchard Park. It's going to be pretty emotional. That place is going to be fired up.
They're
The
gonna be
team loved him. We can't say enough good things, even though we're rivals, about Pancho Villa.
And it's I love the fan base in Buffalo.
Oh,
I lived
yeah.
in Rochester for a while. There's nothing else up there sports-wise. Sabres, you can say that. But that's the passion of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
And I really think their fan base is, I'm not going to say deserving because no one actually deserves it, but to have a winner up there.
But I don't know what's gotten into John Ross, leading the league in receiving yards for the Bengals.
Good
So
point.
let's see if they put Tre'Davious White on him this week and try to clamp him down.
Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, 4-1, lifetime against Buffalo, 2-0 at Orchard Park.
All right,
Just something to consider.
Just something to consider, but I'm still going with the Bills.
I am
I think
going
there's too much emotion in that stadium today
Yes, I agree
to
with you.
overcome for a Cincinnati team that's
I agree.
really not that good.
And sometimes,
And gave up, 41 points to the 49ers at home last week?
yes.
Yeah, I'm not buying in.
And sometimes you cannot coach against emotion.
Nope.
Boy, bumper sticker to be soon to be seen near you. Okay, so we both have Buffalo in that game. The 0-2 Dolphins go to Dallas. This could get ugly.
Yeah, this could
Dallas
be
offense
really,
is
really
clicking
ugly.
on all cylinders. They're 9-1 since week 10 of last year.
Yep.
Dallas.
The loss was the playoff game to the Rams.
Prescott, 51 of 62 thus far, 674 yardage, 7 TDs, 1 pick, a rating of 142.9. And that's a team with a pretty decent defense too. We're looking at a real good Dallas team, aren't we?
Yeah, much better. And the Kellen Moore offense, I like it. There's a lot of motion, a lot of different elements they didn't have before. So right now, they're putting stuff on tape for later on in the year.
Right.
Teams to figure out. But right now, a lot of it's a new element out of this offense.
Right.
In a new way it's being run with some pretty good players.
Mm-hmm.
So I look to Dallas. Do I even have to say it? Dallas to go to 3-0.
Miami's defense has allowed 8 pass TDs and 391 yards rushing entering this week. So they're going to get
Congrats to them. Congrats.
skewered and fricasseed. I think we both agree.
I don't care if it's Josh Rosen, Ryan
No,
Fitzpatrick,
it doesn't matter.
the ghost of Dan Marino.
Right. If
Doesn't
you're
matter.
Brian Flores, man, you just try to keep this team playing hard and somewhat motivated, and keep players from not demanding trades.
Yeah, what it comes down to. Kenyon Drake's the next guy out.
You're right.
Told you that a few weeks
I
ago.
like him too. He's a decent back.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you're going to go this far, do whatever you can to start this rebuild.
And Josh Rosen, just a word of advice. Don't throw the ball to Balaj. He's either going to duck or volleyball bat it to a defender. Don't throw him the ball.
Now, do you think they're tanking, or do you think?
Oh, God, are they tanking?
But let's face it. Brian Flores had to change the culture going in there. They had players. They had good teams, never to amount to anything. So he had to change the culture in a way.
Yeah, there's changing the culture and also just pulling guys off other teams' practice squads and putting them on your 53-man roster
Sounds like something.
and playing them.
Sounds like something they do up at Foxborough,
Oh, yeah.
right?
If they were tanking.
maybe
yeah.
not start them.
They're tanking in the wrong year, though.
You could for the quarterback.
Yeah, for Tua.
Yeah.
Do it next year for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I agree.
That's when I think we're going to see this get bad.
What about the kid from Georgia?
He's a top 16 pick at this point in time.
Right.
I like him a lot. I actually like him more than Tua.
I do too.
I think Tua throws a lot of 5-yard passes that when you get the receivers he does.
And I think the system translates more to the NFL.
And I think Clemson wrote a pretty good book on him last year of what to do to him.
Good. It's good football, man. Okay, anyway, we both picked Dallas. Not a shock. All right, to Denver, next on the slate. 0-2 goes to Green Bay, 2-0. Aaron Rodgers is 12-2-1 in the last 15 starts at home. So that's a good dose of home cooking for them. It's great home field advantage.
Yep. I like the way Flacco looked at the end last week.
I do too.
I want to see if they carry that over. I like Cortland and Sutton a lot. I like the way they used Noah Fant last week, their first-round pick. He's not an inline tight end. He's a joker-type player. You need to get the ball in his hands in different situations. If you got him blocking on pass downs, you're wasting his talent. And for Von Miller and Bradley Chubb not to have a sack yet,
It's interesting.
and to go against those great tackles that the Packers have, see if it's 3 weeks in a row. My radio interview in Denver this week was, do you think they'll get 1.5 sacks between those two on Aaron Rodgers? And I went the over because I so feel they're due.
You would think so, right?
Yeah, and the Devontae Adams, Chris Harris matchup is a good matchup
agree
to
with
watch
that.
this week.
Yeah.
I think it goes to
Two
the other side.
two studs.
And they attack Yadam. Or if Duke Dawson has been brought up to speed, they're going to attack the other side.
And nobody's talking about Green Bay because the knock on them was their defense the past few years. And
And-
they get rid of Clay Matthews, and people think, "Oh my God!" And we've talked
It's
about
all
this
name.
ad nauseum.
Name
It's
and
all
hair.
Right, exactly. Great hair, by the way, and I'll keep saying that. But their defense is playing darn well.
Yeah, Mike Pettin's doing a good job.
Absolutely.
He loves to bring pressure. He's relying. They drafted a lot of corners last year, so they got a young group of corners with the ability to cover. So that's what you need in his defense, in his defensive system.
Blake Martinez, inside linebacker, looking at
Yep,
the stud.
always good coming forward.
20 tackles.
Put him
15
in
solo.
coverage.
Yeah, that's a good.
Don't put him in coverage. Bring him forward. That's exactly where he makes it work.
Don't sleep on the defense, baby. I like the Packers in this one.
Yeah, I do too.
Good dose of home cooking. Home, if you smell what the Packers are cooking, if you will. Okay, Indianapolis, 1-1, plays host to Atlanta, another 1-1 team. This Falcons team, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm waiting for them to just explode. But they've had 6 giveaways thus far. Can't hold on to the ball. Atlanta.
Yeah, no. Last week, good game.
I'm a Matt
Julio
Ryan.
Jones
Yeah.
at the
Are
end.
you a Matt Ryan guy? I like Matt Ryan.
I was up there kind of covering it when he was there in college and he got his first chance. He did good things for that program. He's just always going to be that guy who puts up big numbers for me. Kind of like a Glenn Rice in the NBA. You know, a volume shooter. Not going to win anything.
Right.
I mean, he was close to winning a Super Bowl.
He's
but-
no Dickie Simpkins.
No, he's no Dickie Simpkins. Nobody. Hell no.
Anyway, Jacoby Brissett, old friend Jacoby Brissett, one of 4 quarterbacks with 5+ TDs and a passer rating higher than 105 this season. Serviceable and then some. Is
Yeah,
Jacoby
getting
Brissett.
the job done.
Yeah.
He was a 3rd-round pick here for a reason.
Yeah.
You know who endorsed him, right? Who was all over him? Was
Brady?
Bill Parcells.
Did he really?
Bill Parcells loves the kid for whatever reason. He was the one who referenced him to referred him
Right.
to Bill Belichick to draft.
And the more and more I see Frank Reich coach teams, granted offense last year, a couple years ago, offensive coordinator with Philly, I like him.
I'm waiting
do.
for him to be down 20 and just throw on the helmet and go out there himself and make a comeback.
He
'Cause-
looks like he can play.
yeah, exactly.
Some gray hairs, but Adam Vinatieri knows all about those gray hairs. This is a tough one for me. I'm going to take Atlanta on the road in this one. 'Cause
This
I have
is
the-
this
I
is a
have
tough
this-
pick because
I have this soft spot for Atlanta. What's going on? It's the Atlanta Falcons.
And-
Is it Ryan?
if he hasn't been picked up in your league yet, Ito Smith. They talked about him on Sunday Night Football last week. He's starting to get more touches with Devontae Freeman. It's about that time where Devontae Freeman starts getting sore. Keep an eye on Ito Smith.
Okay. I'm going with Atlanta. You. What say you?
Just to go opposite, I'll go Indy.
Go with your heart. Okay, we'll do it. Just to go opposite. That's your out when I win the game.
Yeah.
I just went that way because
I just did it because.
wanted to change your pace. Arguably, well, I'm going to say this is my marquee matchup of the week, not because I'm a diehard Chief fan, but you have
No, this is the game of the
this is a
week.
game of the week. 2-0 Baltimore goes to Kansas City 2-0 in that Chiefs home opener. Chiefs are winners of 9 straight in the months of September. Offense has averaged 431 yards per game since the start of last year. So they're a machine.
Yep.
No Tariq Hill.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Just run deep.
Run deep. They can't run the ball as well. Still need this team to establish and run a little bit.
They're going to be without their top 2 guys, so
Agreed.
it's going to be the third guy.
Right.
The kid whose name escapes me, I think Utah State.
So you have that really good offense against a Baltimore defense, which has allowed 290 total yards per game since that 219 year start. That's the fewest in the league.
Yeah, but they gave up a lot of passing yards to Kyler Murray last week.
Right.
And I just see that as an opportunity for Patrick Mahomes. If Kyler Murray and that air raid is putting up yards and points, I think Mahomes is going to do it. I'm taking the Chiefs at home.
I like the Chiefs.
3-0 and a good game. It's going to be a good game. This game went to overtime last year
when
they played each other.
Right.
It was a good game.
If this game was in Baltimore,
It might be different.
it'd be different.
The Ravens defense always feeds off that crowd.
Right. Although Lamar Jackson's doing well. Okay, we're going to take a little break. We'll come back with more of the NFL slate as we proceed. If any breaking news comes up with Antonio Brown, you will have it first here. This is the E2G Sports Podcast. Buddy Andre, John Ahern, and various producers giving it to you. We'll be back momentarily.
Life around here can be hard. Money's tight, unemployment's high, and sometimes opportunity seems too far away. You work hard and often. At times, you might not have the time or the energy to fight. The insurance companies in corporate America have endless resources and their pockets are full, and they don't fight fair. That's why when it comes to your legal matters, you need someone who's fought them and won over and over again. Someone who's going to take it personally, not get intimidated, not get bullied or pushed around for an early or unjust settlement. My record is proven. The results are clear. Let me and my firm fight for you when you need it most.
At Excel Recycling, we want to turn your trash into cash today. That's right, cash money immediately for your old appliances, old automobiles, metal wire, and scrap salvage. Excel has 3 locations in the South Coast. 17 Hill Road in New Bedford, 37 Charlotte White Road in Westport, and 15 Ridge Hill Road in Asona. Nobody will pay you more than Excel. At Excel Recycling, we want to turn your trash into cash. Come see us again at 17 Hill Road in New Bedford, 37 Charlotte White Road in Westport, and 15 Ridge Hill Road in Asona.
KB Glass Company can cover all your needs. Commercial, residential, storefronts, glass replacements, custom showers, and mirrors. Whether it's for your business or your home, KB Glass is your one-stop shop for all your glass needs. Call KB Glass at 508-677-7179 or 401-639-2716.
Hey.
Welcome back. Welcome back to E2G Sports Podcast. I thought we were off the air last year at that point. Pardon my momentary lapse of reasoning there.
And he's talking about Antonio Bryan having a head injury. My God.
Oh, God. Anyway, no, I was just thinking about, as we're back here on the E2G Sports Podcast, breaking down the NFL slate for you this Sunday. And I just want to say one thing about the Baltimore game, which we were talking about when we went to break. This is a watershed moment for one Lamar Jackson. If he can go in there if he can win this game as much as perform pretty well in it, it's going to open some eyes. Because he's right now, he's having a darn good year right now, granted the opponents he's played. But a watershed moment for one Lamar Jackson. Agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed.
It's a big game for him.
Big game. Big game. Big
guy
game.
who refers to himself as a running back. So
yeah. Hey, if he can get it done for a couple of
hey,
years.
he's feeding off the emotion and all the negativity he heard in the offseason. He worked hard.
Good for him.
And he made that first year to second year jump, and he's just a hard worker and a good kid, so you cheer for him.
I loved him at Louisville.
Yeah, that Florida State game where they just
loved him at Louisville.
ran it up on him. That people were pretty much falling out of the upper deck. They were so loud.
Two Louisville quarterbacks, two former Louisville quarterbacks starting today, huh? One in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater. We'll get to that as we talk about New Orleans. Next game on the slate, Minnesota at 1-1 entertains the Oakland Raiders, and they are also 1-1. But the Raiders are 1-7 on the road since last year, and Derek Carr is not living up to expectations, to put it lightly.
He looked good in week 1.
He did, but consistency.
Last week they went up 10-0, and he folded, and things just went awry from there.
Less than 200 yards passing in 3 out of the last 4 games for one Mr. Derek Carr. Is getting some good money.
Yep.
Good money.
You wonder if he's the answer there.
You're right.
Because I'm not sure what the I'll review that for next week. I'll go through Spot Rack and look at the contract and what they can get out of it.
Does it matter the success or lack thereof of an Oakland Raider team that's heading to Las Vegas next year?
You want to build something.
Right. Or will the novelty having a pro football team in Las Vegas carry on, much like the hockey team? Although the hockey team did achieve some success, can that be the same for a Raider team, even if they're not as competitive as we want them to be in a league that I believe needs them to be?
I don't. It's a good question. I
I
don't think the success is going to dictate next year, because I think they're going to be playing to a sold-out house. That's probably about 30% visitor fans every week.
Right.
In a brand new stadium, because it's a place to go, and there's plenty to do in Vegas. That's what I've heard. I've never been.
It's just not going to be right to have the Raiders in any other city but Oakland. It's not the same.
No.
Change the name. Just change the name.
Or just plant the stadium.
That way, like
in
the
Oakland.
Cleveland Browns did when they moved to Baltimore, they changed the name. So that way, if another team surfaces like the Cleveland Browns did, there's still that history.
The Oakland Raiders. Yeah. Okay.
That's just my opinion. Throwing it out there.
I'm with you there. There's enough history there.
There's
yes.
plenty of nicknames they can give them in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and it isn't an owner thing, because Art Modell moved, and we didn't go, oh, my God, wasn't Art Modell in the new Cleveland.
Right.
So.
All right, like the Arizona Cardinals,
Yeah.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, keep their history.
Right.
All 3 pages of it.
I could go on and on about this with nicknames, and we won't. Minnesota's defense is holding opponents under 200 yards total offense in 5 of the last 6 games. Dalvin Cook looking good. 2 consecutive 100-yard performances. I like Minnesota in this one. I like Minnesota. You're waving?
I'm agreeing with you.
Wow, you were reluctant with that one.
Yeah.
You were thinking, buddy.
Yeah, because I
You
have
sure you don't want to play contrarian just because?
Nope. We don't do that here. We think for ourselves. We don't have to script anything. Okay. We can argue over stupid things. We don't need to script it.
90% of our arguments are over stupid things.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Leaving a can in my car.
Nice. Jets in New England will go to because they're the local game. Let's move on. The undefeated Detroit Lions at 1-0-1 go to Philadelphia at 1-1. I would love to see Detroit win this game.
They're right for the pickings.
They are right for the picking. A physical, emotional game with Philly last week at Atlanta. This is an interesting matchup.
Guys banged out. They had to bring a guy off the practice squad yesterday to fill that 4th receiver spot.
Light practice load during the course of the week for Philly.
Nice little play this week, fantasy-wise. Philadelphia Eagles 2nd-round pick, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside out of Stanford. They tried feeding him last week, wasn't connecting, but outside of Aguilar, he's their best receiver this week.
So moving forward on the heels of what you said, we're going to get your buddy Andrade's. You're talking fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Fantasy pick. The off-the-radar fantasy pick.
Yeah, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
There you go. Excellent. Matt Stafford, 3-1 career versus Philly.
Those games had to be at home, and Philly wasn't a winning team at the time.
Still,
I'm just saying, it's the Matt Stafford effect.
It's the mental edge that he may have over a banged-up Philly team.
Yeah.
Philly's defense has allowed 277 pass yards per game since last year, most in the NFL. And the offense for Detroit is averaging 408 yards per game this year.
And Carryon Johnson's doing a really good job of being that all-purpose back for them. I'm
going with the Lions.
I am too, because it's early in the year, and the Eagles are banged up. I know they're at home, and it's one of the 3 most talented rosters in the league. But with all the injuries, I just think they're right for the pickings this week. Healthy, I don't make this pick, but just with all the elements, yeah. I'm taking the Lions on the road.
Carson Wentz showed me a lot. We knew he was tough, but last week he just gutted through that.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta was knocking him down.
Yep.
So I have no disrespect for one Carson Wentz, but I like Detroit on the road. Excellent. Carolina, 0-2 and looking bleak, goes to Arizona, who is 1-1. Cam Newton is out. Kyle Allen in. Panthers are 1-9 in the last 10 regular season games. You know who has that one win? Kyle Allen. Dun, da, da, da. We may have seen, and if you're the Panther organization now, you have to start thinking about life without Cam Newton.
And
you have no
and you got
choice.
to integrate Will Greer eventually
Right. We
to
talked
see
about
what you
that.
have there. Because if you're going to be that bad picking high, there's some quarterbacks in this draft. Do you draft a Justin Herbert? Or are you one of those teams who tanks for 2 years,
Right.
tries to get Trevor Lawrence and just bring him up from South Carolina to North Carolina and be the face of a franchise with the number 1 pick?
At this point, if you're the head coach, who may or may not be on the hot seat,
It's kind of tough when your quarterback is down.
it
And
is too.
everything's-
It is too. But they are still underachieving. Do you think?
Yeah, and it started with that
it's-
Thursday night game in
there's-
Pittsburgh
there's
last
some
year. They were
talent-
7-2 at one point.
There's some
last
talent
year.
on that team. They should not be in the skids they are, even without Cam Newton. Just my opinion.
No,
lot of
I
talent.
totally agree with you.
So we're
you
very-
got a team with Luke Kuechly. I think Thomas Davis was a big loss for them.
He's a stud.
You know, he's
Stud.
out with the Chargers now. He was a big time leader there, and I think you're seeing the Thomas Davis effect on this roster.
Right. Anyway, this is E2G Sports. Brian Damaris and James Capper, who I foolishly forgot their names as we went to break last time, are over there behind the glass, so to speak, or behind the computer, giving it to you and bringing us to you on YouTube and Hurricane Radio. Buddy Andre, Johnny Sunchips. We're picking the slate here in the NFL. I kind of like – this is a tough one for me to pick. Well, seeing as how Kyle Allen has their 1 win in the last 10 games, I'm going to go Carolina.
Really?
Just on a whim.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to think of Arizona yet.
I don't. They've run more 4 wide receiver sets, and I don't think
There's no identity there.
Carolina goes 4 deep yet at corner. So they're going to find somebody to pick on.
Yet. Who do you like?
I'm taking Arizona.
Okay. I like it. Moving right along. The New York 0-2 football Giants. 3rd straight year starting 0-2 for this franchise, by the way.
Congratulations.
The iron streak of 235 games by Eli Manning has come to an end. Daniel Jones gets the nod. Good move. Too soon?
Warm weather Daniel Jones, good weather Daniel Jones isn't a bad quarterback. Talk to me in December when it's windy and cold.
But right now, this Sunday, is
they're
it a
trying
good
to
move?
salvage the season and see what they have.
They're desperate.
But they're handcuffed to this dude.
Yeah, they're desperate.
Six overall pick. You pick a quarterback. You're not auditioning him 1 year and trading him away. You're not pulling a Josh Rosen.
No.
This is their guy, and they got to see where they are. And he was handpicked by Eli.
No
this
question.
is the David Cutcliffe connection. This is who Eli wanted to succeed him.
Right.
And Eli's going to say no on trades, so he's going to sit there and coach him up from the outside. And they're just going to roll out there. They're going to get Golden Tate back in a couple of weeks. It's really Evan Engram and Saquon Barkley and a bunch of guys who got cut by the Broncos.
And it's interesting, too, with the one Eli Manning to, not waive the no-trade clause, because they'd be takers for him right now.
Yeah, they definitely
no question.
would. Yeah.
And he could start for a team next week.
Yep.
No question. So
Especially with the injuries, because the attrition is definitely playing out in this league.
Right, so kudos to him. So Daniel Jones is now the starter unless he's injured. And he's a starter for the foreseeable future unless injury prevents him from starting.
Yep. And
There you
he's
go.
got
You're going to see what you have now with your Giants fans.
yeah, and he's got 3 games in 11 days
Mm-hmm.
to play for the Giants.
And he's going to face a team that's blitzed on 56% of their plays in defense, Tampa, today.
Yeah, Tampa's really been moving it.
Welcome to the NFL, Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Hope you keep your feet going.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
go
your
with
peripheral vision.
I'm going with the Bucks.
I am too going with Tampa.
Bucks sneakily could win that division at like 9-7 this year.
It's crazy. And the Giants, if we fall to 0-3 today, they are done because Dallas is not going to let up anytime soon.
No, and
And
Philadelphia is going to get healthy.
Yeah, and the Giants are one of those teams, too, in the NFL. You need them to be good because of their polarizing effect.
Yep.
And the market size. So say what you
It's the
want.
market thing. They're not really a polarizing
Yeah, good point.
franchise.
And there's a lot of diehard Giant fans in this area because of what's happened in the
They're
past.
the 5th New England team.
Yep,
Absolutely,
exactly,
they are.
Exactly. I know a lot of Patriot fans don't want to hear that because of what's happened in 2 Super Bowls, but that's
It's facts.
Right. It is. Right. And don't let
Don't let facts get in the way of your argument.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. So we both pick Tampa in that one. The Los Angeles Chargers are home, quote unquote, to take on the Houston Texans. Houston's like this back and forth team. The last 6 games, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. No consistency there. No streaky team. Nothing to build on, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, so they won last week. So based on that theory, you think they would lose this week, which I have them doing, by the way.
Yeah.
At the Chargers.
The Chargers at home, as you did, at home.
Right.
In that soccer stadium. Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers this week.
Phillip Rivers is now the new Iron Man quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
He will be starting his 211th.
The original Giant.
Yep. You're right. I know. Go figure. I like the Chargers at home. Houston is just a team that I cannot get my.
No, I can't. I can't get behind them, and I don't know what they're doing half the time.
Right.
So neither do they. So we're all on the same page.
New Orleans, Seattle coming up after the break. We're going to take a little short timeout to pay some bills, and we'll be back with more of the NFL Sunday breakdown, if you will. Buddy Andre, Johnny Sanchez here on the E2G Sportscast, Hurricane Radio.
Another summer has passed, and once again, your dream of having a pool in your backyard has come and gone. Right now is the time to make sure it doesn't happen again. Call Apollo Pools and Spas now and lock your date in for the pool you have always wanted, for you, your family, and friends to enjoy. Don't wait another minute. Call Matt Collins at Apollo Pools and Spas at 508-923-7381. 508-923-7381. Apollo Pools and Spas is located on Route 44, Lakeville, Mass. In today's day and age, security isn't a luxury, it's a must. That's why it's time you call Total Security Technology. Whether you're protecting your house from a break-in or package poachers, or protecting your business from vandals or thieves, Total Security Technology will help prevent the crime from happening or catch the criminal in the act with their state-of-the-art security system. Call the area's foremost security expert, Scott Bazinet, at Total Security Technology for a consult. Call Scott at 401-297-7982. That's 401-297-7982. Quality counts at Highland Fence. Highland Fence has been keeping neighbors friendly and protecting your businesses for 31 years. That's 31 years of serving Southeastern Mass and Rhode Island. Whether it's residential or commercial, Highland Fence's reputation is second to none. Remember, quality counts at Highland Fence. Call Highland Fence at 508-678-4650. 508-678-4650.
Welcome back to the E2G Sports Podcast. Breaking down the NFL slate for you. Brian and James getting it done back here. The engineers behind this extravaganza.
We're just going to keep upgrading your titles.
Engineer.
Let me be your agent.
Hey, these guys are MVPs. How about MVPs?
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, you are. Let's continue, buddy, shall we?
Yeah, let's go. Let's rock it.
The very quiet 2-0 Seattle Seahawks take on a New Orleans team without Drew Brees at home. And I say very quiet because they just keep getting it done. Not flashy. Get wins. They're 2-0. Nobody's talking about them. It's Kansas City. It's New England. It's other teams. But you don't hear a lot about Seattle. And now I don't think they're buried out in the West Coast, Pacific West Coast either. I just think that it's just not this 40, 50 point a game team. And you don't hear a lot about them. Russell Wilson just gets it done.
Doesn't have the flashy names that it's had in the past.
He has started every game in his career. 115 to start today. Consistency. 105 career passer rating. 201 touchdowns. 63 picks. He's not talked about enough, in my opinion.
No,
he's not.
The guy's just a great player.
Right.
He really is. And
8 years out of Wisconsin.
His greatness allowed Kyler Murray to be picked first overall because they saw that a quarterback at that size could succeed in the league.
Exactly.
So every time Kyler Murray gets a paycheck, you should look up and go, thank you, Russell Wilson, for making this happen, because he's got the ability to pass out of the pocket, get out of the pocket, zone reads, and he's just clutch. He's a
is.
clutch player.
He is. And he's 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 win. So he's got a resume building, and it's continuing because he's only 30, I think. He's got lots of years left.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and he's been dinged up, but nothing really major. I don't
Yeah,
think.
he takes some hits, but he avoids like that,
And that
pulverizing
could
hit.
be indicative of his height. Mm-hmm. You know, kind of small enough to kind of get under things, if you will. Right? So, Teddy Bridgewater gets a start in place of Drew Brees. A lot of talk that Saints are done. What are your feelings on that?
I don't think anybody in that division's done.
Right.
I think in another division they may be done. But in that NFC South, really what's going on? Who's consistent and who can't they play with in a one-game, one-Sunday scenario in that division?
Right.
So, no, I don't think they're done.
And their defense has not allowed a 100-yard rusher since Week 11 of 2017. So the defense is pretty stalwart.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara not getting the touches, though. So if you're a fantasy guy, he hasn't been your big gun the past few weeks. But, boy, if Breeze was here, I'd still be picking Seattle. I think this game could – I like Seattle big in this one. I like them by double digits.
Wow.
I do.
I think Bridgewater's going to keep it a little closer.
You do?
Yeah. I just got to see the effect this is going to have after a week of working with Michael Thomas and Kamara, and they're still going to get their touches. I really need to see that this week and how this is going to get divvied up the rest of the season.
You're picking Seattle?
I'm picking Seattle.
But we're watching the Saints for other reasons. Like it. The 2-0 San Francisco 49ers take on the 0-2 Pittsburgh Steelers. Another quarterback change. Mason Rudolph gets the nod here. The last time Roethlisberger missed 10-plus games in a year was 2003. And you know who the quarterback was? XFL champion.
Oh, was Tommy
Maddox.
Dreamer.
Tommy Maddox. 2003 was the last time Big Ben, and he's going to be out for a while here, but this team's got more problems than Mason Rudolph, don't they? Starting.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you now. I like Jalen Samuel, the running back. I like him more than I like James Conner. And I think that's going to play out over the next few weeks. I just think he's a better all-around player.
And Miami could have a pretty good number 1 draft pick coming to them.
Yeah.
From Pittsburgh.
Yeah, pretty high if they keep it going. But I do see why Pittsburgh made that trade. At first, I was like, you're going to be picking pretty high this year. But it makes sense because if Ben can't come back, they have to eat $55 million in dead money next year.
Like it.
So you want as many guys as you can on rookie contracts because you're really going to have to gut the thing to free that money up. So it does make sense. Minka Fitzpatrick is a rookie contract. Juju, that could be a guy that could be a problem if he has a good season with Mason Rudolph this year, looking for more money, and they're not really able to pay it next year. They'll have to pay it to him the next year. So let's see. Juju plays the good soldier and stays there. But there's a lot of decisions to be made off that Ben Roethlisberger situation.
No question.
It's not done. It's not done just because he's on IR.
No, but
there's a long-term effect.
This is a wake-up call to them. Not a wake-up call per se, because they know what they're into. But now, if you're a fan of them, you say, okay, maybe we won't have Roethlisberger. And he's a little older now and banged up his whole career. They think he can come back. He may very well come back. But you're at a point now where you may start thinking about life after him, like the Panthers were with Newton. You have to consider it, right, as an organization, and the money not being a factor, obviously, or being a big factor. I should say.
It's a huge factor next year. Yes.
My boy Jimmy Garoppolo, 8-2 as a Niner starter.
Yep, just tearing it up.
3 running backs with 10+ carries last week.
Yeah, they mixed it up. They mixed it up really well, and you got to figure that Jerick McKinnon's on IR. And they paid him some money and expected a lot of different elements out of his game that he can provide. If that receiving core can get itself straightened out, this is a dangerous team. And the defense is redone with Quan Alexander in the middle now calling the signals. You got Bosa up front. Kind of makes all those other high draft pick defensive linemen much better. I'm taking San Francisco this week. I think the plummet of Mason Rudolph and the Steelers has begun.
Yeah, it's a growing week for them. Let's see what we have.
There's a lot of
get your feet wet, so to speak.
There's a lot of testing.
Yeah. And I'm picking the Niners as well. But can I say something? We loved him when he was here, but why are so many fans why do so many fans just don't like Jimmy Garoppolo?
I like Jimmy.
I know you do, but you know a lot of the fan base doesn't.
Oh, yeah. They want to see him fail because they want to see they were right.
Why do you want to see it? Why do fans want to see him fail? Because he's in another uniform now? You wanted to plummet? The disdain for this guy is amazing to me.
Yeah.
You loved him when he was wearing blue and silver. Loved him. But now he goes to another team and you wish nothing but, not even lack of success. They want him injured and gone.
Yeah. He's brutal.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Don't get me started on this fan base thing. Or you can if you will, but you don't have a big can of worms. We're both picking the Niners in this. Getting all hot and bothered under the collar. The Sunday night matchup. Another decent matchup. When's the last time?
2008 is the correct answer.
What last time they had a Sunday night game?
Sunday night home game.
When's the last time they had back-to-back primetime games? Whoa.
1947?
Because 78 was when Sunday Night Football started.
Yeah, it was 1947.
1947. The Rams, who are 2-0 and not looking like they're hanging over from any Super Bowl, although...
I love what they're doing with Todd Gurley.
Me too.
Pitch count, load management, big moments.
The team's well coached.
And managed.
They're well coached. Very
Yeah.
well coached. Their defense is not allowed to pass TD this far this year, the Rams, although Goff is not living up to expectations. But right now, you can afford that with the defense.
Oh, yeah.
You still want to see Goff progress.
You still have Aaron Donald.
And I'm not down on him. I don't think he sucks like some other people do.
I think he really got exposed in the Super Bowl.
I agree with you.
If
But
McVay's not in his ear.
can he learn from that?
That's...
2 games in, you can argue, but I
question.
want to give him a little more leeway to throw the suck tag or not.
You know what the Rams think? They think so because they threw him a boatload of money.
I know they did.
And they didn't need to.
No, they didn't have to.
No, they could have waited and seen if this was something a lot of teams did and really confused the kid pre-snap. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to this one. How many people do you think right now are drunk already in Cleveland?
There's no question they're already starting to tailgate.
Oh, my God. I can imagine what that party's like right now.
They were starting to right after the Wednesday pressers, they were starting to tailgate. Are you kidding me?
They've been in the
Seriously?
parking lot just going, living in their dog houses.
And you know what? Talk about a great fan base.
Oh, we had fun there, did we
We
not?
went there a few years ago. Man, that was awesome. It was a great town. Great town.
Yeah, very underrated. It's not often you can get $2 draft beers.
Can I tell this little story? Remember, we were there after LeBron James had left, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So we're in a sports bar in Cleveland.
This is
in
factual.
Cleveland.
The Winking Lizard.
In Cleveland, we're in a sports bar, and there must have been, say there were 20 TVs. One of them had the Cavaliers game on it. The rest had the Miami Heat games on in Cleveland.
Yep.
And I wish
it was right after. It was like 5 games into the year that 5 games after he had left.
Brian and
And
Jay,
everybody was out watching the Miami Heat game.
and there was so much venom in that sports bar dedicated to LeBron James. It was unbelievable. They hated him, and that's why they were tuning in. And I remember wishing I said I had a microphone because people were just swearing, and we'd ask them about LeBron James. They'd go on this pontificate about yeah, just everything you could experience in hatred for LeBron James. We caught a
Oh, yeah.
Bleep storm
We
of
were
it.
at that bar like an hour and a half
insane.
for a second half of a basketball game. I've never felt that much
Insane.
venom for a human being in my life.
It was so much fun. So much fun to be around. Anyway, speaking of Jared Goff, thank you for letting me kind of take that dirt road there. Myles Garrett, 5 sacks this
He's
far this year.
awesome. He's a beast.
Myles Garrett.
He's challenging Aaron Donald this year for Defensive Player of the Year.
Garrett was my defensive player of the year.
Who's that? Myles Garrett?
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
my pick.
Oh, yeah.
I love him. I have loved him since he came in. But Myles Garrett, let me introduce you to Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Hello.
They're going to, let's see if they can protect that blind side. That place is going to be rocking tonight. That's going to be awesome.
West team coming east. Rabid fan
But
base.
it's a night game. It's not a 1 o'clock game. So I totally throw that out.
Yeah, good point.
I throw that
Good
factor
point.
out.
Those several hours.
They have
make
a
big
whole
difference.
day to adjust. It's basically a 5:25 kickoff for them. Not a 10 a.m.
That's
kickoff.
That's a tough one. This is tough for me.
I'm taking Cleveland.
I am taking Cleveland as well.
I think it's going to be a barn burner.
Or as they say here, a bond burner. A bond burner.
I love me some Baker Mayfield.
I do too.
He's
Again.
got such moxie.
How would you? Wouldn't it be for him to be the successor after Tom Brady? How good would that?
Oh,
have been?
if that had
How
all
good-
happened, if that had all gone down where he was
How
he
good
was the guy.
How about covering a Patriots press conference with Baker Mayfield in the locker room?
Yeah,
that would be so cool. So cool.
Monday night and then the Pats.
Not to say that I'm an Oklahoma honk, because I am. So we both pick.
This game is a dud tomorrow night.
Yeah, boy, I might. Yeah, this is like a.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a snooze fest.
No offense, hon.
Oh yeah, his wife's a Bears fan.
No offense, hon. But
Mitchell Trubisky, that's Washington 0-2, taking on the Chicago Bears in the nation's capital. Although the Skins have won 7 straight against the Bears. 7 straight. But they're 0-2 out of the gate in the NFC East.
that ends tomorrow night.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, that's Chicago. That defense, they may not give up a point.
Dwayne Haskins?
It's getting close.
Getting close.
I think they wait till after the New England game.
Getting close.
So I'm looking at October 13th, week 6.
But did they knee-jerk off of everything else?
What's that?
Did they knee-jerk off of the other teams doing this? The reaction. They lose today. Do they just, we got to get the kid in there. We got to see. It's the future of our organization. So-and-so, so-and-so.
The Giants are doing it. Why not?
That's my point. In the same division?
You gotta lift
Maybe-
the schedule because it's New England in 2 weeks. And do you really want to feed him
If
to
you're-
that New England
it cl-
defense in 2 weeks?
Clear ahead, you would look at the schedule. But if you think the kid's...
It's Daniel Snyder. There's no clear heads there.
Good point.
Lord Farquhar.
But
is requested.
I like that. I like Haskins coming out of Ohio State. The question is he ready? Right, and you're going against a New England team too. Do you want to throw him to the wolves? But at some point you take your lumps. They lose today. All bets are off.
I don't know what their schedule is week 6. It could be a bye for all I know.
Could be.
But I think that's when
Or it
you
could
see
be a bye.
Haskins getting ramped up to be the guy.
Or very well could be a bye for the team they're facing. Bears on the road.
Oh, Chicago.
Flew allowed fewer than 20 points in 6 straight games, the Bears. I like Chicago in this one as well.
Yep.
You doing that to make wifey happy?
Nope.
Hi, Carolyn. How are you? Well, that's our wrap-up on the picks.
Except the
Oh,
home
yeah,
game.
that's right. We have to go to New England. It's not going to be a game.
We know the things I'm excited about.
I forgot.
You know what I'm excited about?
Luke Falk.
I don't have to hear about Antonio Brown every 3 seconds. I don't need to see what he's doing on the sideline. I don't care.
But
I care what's going on the field.
I will be withdrawing from some of that as well.
I
Because I'm biting into
got robbed of a week where these Patriot fans who sometimes will overrate their players, it happens. But Danny Shelton and Adam Butler, I was waiting for them to be compared to Aaron Donald all week because of the way they looked last week, just getting in the backfield every single play. And I need that stupidity in my life. I don't need to hear about Antonio Brown. I need our players overhyped. I need to hear this and laugh.
Before we get into the game, can I call out some of the fan base?
Go for it.
The past 2 weeks. Everything from, well, Tyreek Hill's playing, so why can't Antonio Brown? 2, when all this stuff broke about his personal trainer, and I'm paraphrasing here, there were parts of the fan base that were actually spewing out of their pie holes that there were other teams conspiring with her to take down the Patriots and have her talk.
Yep.
And I was beside myself. I mean, you talk about drinking the Kool-Aid.
That's a little bit too much of the Kool-Aid.
You now need blood transfusions, guys, if you're thinking that. It just bothered me. Are you kidding me? Other teams are conspiring to take down the Patriots. So the league is still out to get you, right? They couldn't. If the league was out to get you a few years ago, they would have thrown a flag, and then when you were down 28-3, and that whole Super Bowl would have changed. If the league was out to get you, if they're out to get you last year, then you would have lost that Super Bowl. Can we get off of the freaking wagon where the league is out to get us? The league needs you right now because you're polarizing. So they don't mind if you're successful. They don't need you to plummet into oblivion. So get off the wagons. My God, it's taken Homerdome to a whole new definition to me.
Yeah,
And
you know what a lot of it is? It's Johnny-come-lately fans who weren't diehards back in the day, who liked other teams, who want to prove their devotion to the team.
Right.
So everything the team does is right. It's
simple.
annoying. There's a lot of Patriots fans that I don't enjoy.
No, and you're not one of them because you have a clear head. You're in the business. You think outside of the box. You step outside of yourself and look into it. You have peripheral vision. You have intake. You have insight. You don't knee-jerk as much. But these people, I mean, I can't stand it anymore. And this is why, and I grew up a Patriot fan, this is why I do not root for you guys. I cannot root for the Patriots. And maybe it's a fault of mine. I've always been a Kansas City fan since I've been 10. But I root for the Patriots because they're local.
Yeah.
And they're very successful. And they are the best franchise, not only in football, but in all of sports. Maybe in the history of the 4 major sports. But I can't root for them now because I can't stand the fan base.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And
fans
I'm
who turn it
generalizing
off.
here. I'm generalizing. But it's enough. Enough is enough. And no more Patriot way unless you're mocking the team or you're referring to the past. Gone a long time ago. No more Patriot way. Bye-bye. See ya. Don't let the door hit you. Where'd the good Lord split you? Man, that felt good.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
And all due respect to the Patriot fans in here, because I know there are some diehards out there. And I know they don't know who they are. But, I mean, I just had to say that because I'm just tired of the excuse making. But what's going to happen this week? You're going to win without Tony Brown. We didn't need him. We don't need him. Why did we take him in? Why? Maybe a mistake, whatever. Anyway.
Oh, so just breaking
Yeah, break, please.
from Nesson.
Any good news?
Robert Kraft reportedly is irate over Antonio Brown tirade this morning and might refuse to pay the ex-Patriot no matter what.
Because he's due for that money tomorrow, right?
Yeah, so, the way it was explained was it's not in the Patriots' hands, but it's also not in Antonio Brown's hand. There's like somewhere in the middle. This money is lying, and it's almost like, why did I lose my train of thought?
It's okay because breaking news continues on Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
Which you're going to miss,
the
by
right
the way.
way to put this is, so your sins are less than my sins. I can understand where Antonio's coming from as far as that.
Yeah.
And this is another deny, accuse, which we hear about in an afternoon show in Boston that the Patriots are famous for. Sorry, I'm a fan, but it's true.
Serious states of denial. Serious states of denial on both sides.
Like, he's not going to pay the guy because he brought up his situation.
You know what?
He shouldn't pay him because he wasn't due the money.
But,
Don't make it personal at this point.
At this point, if you're Robert Kraft, you don't want any more Antonio Brown associations, right?
Oh, no.
Brand-wise?
No.
Because you're taking a hit in 2 weeks. You've taken a major hit in 2 weeks if you're the Patriots. He doesn't like that because he's all about the brand, which he should be as owner. Belichick's the guy in the field, coaching the team, whatever. But so if you're Kraft, and if it's, quote-unquote, a mere few $1 million, would you not pay him and just get rid of him? Bye-bye, get him out.
No, because it's gotten personal now. Because
But,
one of the things that the team players who leave there and employees up there are told is nothing bad about the team. Say nothing bad about the team.
who's going to be the bigger man? Who's the bigger man in this? You would think Kraft, right? Being owner of a team?
You would think so,
You
but
would
it's
think
not
so.
the case.
Which is crazy. Which is
No, they're going to stoop and go back and forth here.
which is done.
And it's not going to be Bob who's going to say anything. It's going to be Jonathan who's going to come and say something about it. Or if they already haven't done their rehearsed pregame show,
No question. Speaking of questions, they'll set them up.
now they're probably rewriting the rehearsed pregame show spot on the Patriots Radio Network, and we'll see if that includes that and if there's a shot fired back. And we got inactives coming in a half hour, and James White is out today.
Yes.
Baby.
Another baby in the house.
Let me tell you, that Christmas party must have been something else that team
what-
had.
what-
It wasn't a Super Bowl party. It was a Christmas party.
What
if you
was in
go
the
back.
punch bowl that day, baby? That's what I want to know. What was in the punch bowl?
Wow, everybody having babies.
Anyway, but anyway, back to Kraft. So this keeps going on, this back and forth between Kraft and this. You know what's going to be part of the press conferences?
Oh, yeah,
They're
it's
be
going to get
talking,
asked post-game.
which is what you don't want to talk about.
This is what you got rid of.
Robert
you
Kraft,
freed yourself
right.
of.
You brought him into your organization. You're cutting bait with him. Do it fully. Cut the umbilical cord. Let the guy go. If it costs you a few $1 million, does that matter to you at this point? Seriously, stop with the back and forth. We know Antonio Brown is in a regress state of adolescence. That's obvious, amongst other things. But Kraft, do the right thing. You're a business owner. The brand is yours. Just get him out of your hair. Get him out of your hair. Wash it.
And
wash it.
I think
sanitize it. Just
this is why this is
dust your
happening.
hands
though.
off.
Before we wrap up here, this is why it's happening, because I think this morning Antonio Brown found out he's not getting that $5 million.
Sure.
How about that? He made $152,000 here.
Right.
I think this is why this is going on. And he's going after Kraft because you saw how he had love for Bill and Tom and teammates out the door.
Yep.
He knows this was Kraft's decision. He knows it's kind of hypocritical. So he's going to take shots. So he's going to bring all this situation to light.
Right. So he's not going to let it go.
No.
We know that.
No.
Kraft knows that. Everyone knows that.
He was going to fight Mike Mayock.
Exactly.
He called him a derogatory term and was going to punch him in the face.
Your general manager, president of football
You don't think he's going to step up and do that to Bob Kraft
There's
now?
no question.
Yeah.
But my point is, we're going to know everything about Antonio Brown and what he feels. It's not going to stop. We know his social media acumen by now. But Kraft, I don't think Kraft has to respond. Just stay off it. Mm-hmm. Stay off it. Just pay the guy or do something, but get him out of your hair. Do whatever you have to do, Mr. Kraft, to get him out. And just disassociate yourself and make it a clean break. Well, clean break, I think that's pretty much passive. It's not going to be a clean break.
No, this is only going to
stem. But the longer you drag it out, the more you're going to be talking about anything other than football with your team.
Yep.
That's the bottom line. I don't care if it's on the field, off the field. There's going to be more news media at their press conferences than there will be sports media.
This just reaffirms to me that he is not getting his $5 million.
There's no question. So keep your Twitter alive.
Yep.
Anyway.
Even during the game. There may be stuff coming out during the game today. This could be very interesting.
You're going to miss this while it's gone. I know you say you're glad he's out of your hair, but I know how you are on social media, buddy Andrade. I know you look me in the eye, buddy Andrade, and tell me you're not going to miss this. Or tell me you're going to miss it.
I'm not going to miss it.
I'm
not going to miss it.
I think you are. I think you can fool me with the best of them. You'll be like,
all right,
I can't pick this tutor up. I got to pick this tutor up. Where am I? What's going on?
Nope.
Anyway, that's going to do it. Programming note. Every Friday at 11 a.m. going forward, we're going to have this broadcast coming to you on YouTube Live, Hurricane Radio. There's going to be many avenues you can see it.
And we'll take you into your Friday lunch.
Absolutely. And we'll get started. Yeah, I love Fridays. Get your weekend started right here with us into your lunchtime on Friday. And take a little extended lunch or a little abbreviated. Push it back a little bit at 11. 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Buddy Andrew will not be here next week.
Brian Damaris. He's filling the role.
And he's like...
I may not have a job when I come back.
Ooh, yeah. Be careful. But anyway, Brian Damaris is going to sit in next week. He's our producer, along with James Capra. These guys have been big today for us. Big. So thank you, guys. I appreciate all you've done. Buddy Andrade, we'll talk. Enjoy your football Sunday, everybody. This is the E2G Sports Podcast. Hurricane Radio, YouTube. Have a great football Sunday, everyone. We'll talk to you next week.
Another summer has passed, and once again, your dream of having a pool in your backyard has come and gone. Right now is the time to make sure it doesn't happen again. Call Apollo Pools and Spas now and lock your date in for the pool you have always wanted, for you, your family, and friends to enjoy. Don't wait another minute. Call Matt Collins at Apollo Pools and Spas at 508-923-7381. 508-923-7381. Apollo Pools and Spas is located on Route 44, Lakeville, Mass. In today's day and age, security isn't a luxury, it's a must. That's why it's time you call Total Security Technology. Whether you're protecting your house from a break-in or package poachers, or protecting your business from vandals or thieves, Total Security Technology will help prevent the crime from happening or catch the criminal in the act with their state-of-the-art security system. Call the area's foremost security expert, Scott Bazinet, at Total Security Technology for a consult. Call Scott at 401-297-7982. That's 401-297-7982. Quality counts at Highland Fence. Highland Fence has been keeping neighbors friendly and protecting your businesses for 31 years. That's 31 years of serving Southeastern Mass and Rhode Island. Whether it's residential or commercial, Highland Fence's reputation is second to none. Remember, quality counts at Highland Fence. Call Highland Fence at 508-678-4650. 508-678-4650. Another summer has passed, and once again, your dream of having a pool in your backyard has come and gone. Right now is the time to make sure it doesn't happen again. Call Apollo